Hello everyone, I am Sandeep from Durga Software Solutions. Today let us speak about the enhancement of your skills. Enhancement of skills in the sense, what are all the skills are required in soft skills. In soft skills, what are the requirements? What are the things we need to enhance? And I'll give you certain tips how to enhance each and particular skill. In a part of soft skill, the first and major point is your communication skills. What do you mean by communication skills? Communication skills plays a vital role to enhance or to prove yourself that you are a very good soft skill person, and at the same time your effective communication leads a person for his success in each and every parameter and each and every area. How you can say, if we take an example of how the nations are getting united, how they are getting united by the word called communication. It can be the oral communication of it. If they want to have any sort of an agreements, they need to have a written communication. The communication are of different types. First one is your non-verbal communication, and before that your verbal communication, and at the same time your written communication. When you talk about these three communication part, let us go step by step about each and every part. Verbal communication. In these three, which one takes the topmost priority? Which is given the topmost priority? Could anyone answer? Yes, these three has their own importance. When you talk about the verbal part, when I stand in front of you and when I am unable to open my mouth with the words, it doesn't make sense, and I cannot make the people understand in a proper way. Verbal, it's a mutual sharing of the views or sharing of our thoughts in an understandable manner. For example, I'm talking in English. If I start communicating in the other language like Latin, French, the people, those who don't know about the particular language, and if I communicate with them, am I making a proper communication with the person? No, not at all. So when you are making your communication understandable, when you can make the other person understandable, when you are in a appropriate communication part, using a proper language which is understandable and which is grammatically good. When we talk about all these kind of words, we need to first and make sure that we are using the appropriate words, we are using the formal words, we are using the very easy words which can be understandable by the people. Otherwise our words also, whatever word you release from your mouth, it doesn't make a good sense, because are you using an appropriate word to a person? Are you addressing a people and by using an appropriate word? We need to use particularly and certainly an appropriate vocabulary in your speeches. Otherwise your verbal communication cannot be effective or cannot be appropriate. And when we go deeper, we'll talk about each and every parameter. Now, why this verbal is very important? For example, you have gone to a place which is very new to you. Means you visited a place which is very new to you, and you want to know the address of a person to communicate that you are looking for. And what do? You can directly go to a person and shout at him, and you cannot be rude towards him. Why? Because it's an unknown place, and we cannot be so rude towards a person who is unknown to us. at that particular time, and simply you can't go there and say and move your hands and ask for the address. If in case it is conditional, if a person is dumb, by the grace of God, we are not dumb and deaf. All our organs are working properly. So we need to make use, and as of, like, we should not use in every way saying that I am a very good communicator. Your words make you sensible and make you communicatable person in an appropriate way, because communication leads to success. I think what is the biggest problem for us in nowadays, which is ruling now? Communicating skills are ruling along with your language. We'll speak later about a language. Let me talk about the importance of your soft skills. And next part, communication part, your non-verbal communication. Our body language represents more than our words, because by your hand movements, by the way you look at the other person, the way you walk, the way you sit in front of the person, everything. When you are standing in front of a people and when you fold your arms with your shoulders are closed and you're folding your arms in front of a person, that is called you're being defensive. I think you might have seen in the televisions, many people, the people, those who have done crimes, those who have done mistakes, like thieves and criminals, when they're being published or when they're being in front of media, the cops would be sitting, and at the back these people would be folding their arms, bending their head, because they know that they have done the mistake. And when you are presenting in front of public, or when you are presenting in front of a person, why we need to do that? Are we doing any sort of mistakes? No, not at all. We are not trying to do mistakes. We are trying to deliver our talent. We are trying to deliver our talent, which is the topmost priority. And at the same time, when you are sitting, when you cross your legs, and when your toe is high, when your toe is facing the sky, it shows that you are overconfident and you are being authority. You are showing your authority to the person whom you are speaking. And you might have seen many people, the great people, when they are speaking, they do cross their legs, but their knee would be leaning towards the toe would be showing, the two fingers would be showing the ground, because it says that they are humble. And when you put your hands back in this way, it says that the way you are communicating is something you are hiding, and you are not in a position to deliver it in an appropriate manner. So make sure your body language, the way you look at the person. Many people don't have the right attitude by the way they look, because when you feel shy to look at a person, how do you look at a person? You keep on rotating your eyeballs. Your eyeballs should not keep on rotating when you are communicating with a person. That shows you are disinterested to speak to the person. Why, when we are disinterested, when we are not interested to speak to a person, why we need to stand in front of him? Because if we stand in front of him, that shows that we are not respecting the person. When you have the right attitude, even if you don't want to speak, or if you are not interested to speak, if you have the right attitude, your attitude will change. Because the knowledge, skill, attitude, every time I say knowledge, skill, attitude. Gaining knowledge, learning is a process. The time when we were born and the time till we take our last breath. In this duration, it is a thought process. Learning is a big process. Every time, every day, every second, we need to learn, because learning enhances our knowledge. It can be anything, either it can be good, it can be bad. Try to learn and gain the knowledge. If you think it is bad, try to eradicate, try to eliminate. If you think it's good, if you say that if I do this kind of work, it would be helpful to me, try to put it on a right path, try to travel along with it. When you want to travel along with the good, the word success will always be like your shadow. Otherwise, it will not be like your shadow. If you have fear, even there is a success. The shadow is every time with us, but sometimes it will not be visible. When it will not be visible? During the nights, because it is dark. But when but the success should be always with you. When you have the knowledge, when you convert the knowledge into a skill. As we are learning something, are we implementing it? Learning is not only the process. Implementing and utilizing that knowledge, converting that knowledge into a skill is also given the priority. You need to prioritize. What are the major things? What are the major requirements we need to have? And not only these two, but your attitude. Your attitude comes into the picture now. So what is attitude? Many people are talking about an attitude. Attitude is the topmost one which always lead a person in a good manner. We as a human beings, we don't have the stable mentality. What do we need to do to have the stable mentality? We need to stick to our thoughts. In the coming sessions, like if we go forward, we'll talk about everything of this, about the attitude, which is very important part. Now let's take a step about a non-verbal communication. Yes, the way how you represent your body language, it shows about your attitude. That is the reason why I spoke about attitude. The way how you deliver. If I stand in front of a person in an irresponsible way, by looking at the person, by looking at your posture, the person would understand whether you are responsible or irresponsible. So here are the major steps. Here are the major things that you need to take. And when we talk about a written communication, in which parameter it is important? Written is also very important. How we came to know about holy books. At the particular time, someone has written it. They wrote it and they kept it in a good safe place. They have given us storage of it. And that is the reason now we are able to read holy books. Not only the holy books, many people kept their thoughts in a written format to change the people. There are many people like who are the bookaholics, who have lots and lots of interest to read books. Why? To learn. Because someone has written it, and that is the format we are able to read it, and at the same time we are able to learn it. We are able to learn it. When you are able to put your right attitude there, it always leads to success. See the importance of communication skills. These important, every step, everything, every skill, whatever you learn in your soft skill, everything is dependent on your attitude, on your knowledge, on your skill. When you learn something, get the clarification. Learning 50% and leaving 50% because we are not interested to learn. That doesn't make sense, and that is not the right learning process. The right learning process is learning 100%. Learning 100% is one step, and implementing it into 100% is one more step. Implementing it in one more step with the right attitude is one more step. These three steps will make you to grow in your careers. After communication part, let's talk about your problem solving skills. What do you mean by the word called problem solving skills? Are we in a position to analyze the problem and to solve the problem? It cannot be the outer problem, it can be our internal problem also. What are our internal problems when we are at this age? Our internal problems are shy, ego, being rude, not listening to others. We will not listen to the elders because the trend has been changed. We will not listen to the others. We will not put a concentration to listen to others because we think why we need to care about them. We always think why we need to take care about them, which is not a right format. First, when we are able to solve our internal problem skills, internal problem, when we are able to solve them, now we can deal with the other things. Every part, every skill, they are related one by one in a soft skill. Everything is related in a one by one in a soft skill. Because when you talk about your problem solving skill, you need to have your decision making skill. How this decision making skill is related to problem solving skill? When you have a certain problem in you, okay, I have a problem of enhancing my personality development. Enhancing my personality development. What do you mean by personality development? I'm unable to improve my knowledge, that is my problem. I'm unable to convert my knowledge into a skill, that is my problem. Because I'm unable to possess the right attitude, that is my problem. When you have these kind of problems, you need to take a right decision how you can solve this problem. What are the ways? We need to search for alternatives. We need to search for the alternatives. When we search for the alternatives, definitely we have a certain route, we have a certain path to improve or to utilize our knowledge for for converting our knowledge into a skill, because that is the right skill. And every time we use, not only it is helpful for an individual, this analysis, SWOT analysis is entirely helpful for every person, because now many multinationals are also following this analysis method to know what are the company's strengths. My company's strengths are, I have a very good employees. How they are able to maintain the employees? By providing the needs to the employees. What are the needs? Identifying. First thing is choosing or hiring a right person to the right designation. Choosing the skillful person into the company. Choosing the skillful person. Okay, these are the strengths. If they choose a person, those who are not skillful, no, that is not the strength for the company. Now at the same time, for an individual, if they hire a skillful person, definitely there would be a growth in the company, and definitely they'll get a name and fame in the market. In the same way, when we have our own SWOT analysis, when we concentrate on strengths, we can hide our weaknesses. We can grab more opportunities, because the companies are looking for those kind of people. As the technology is being developed, as the multinations are being in, they are looking for skillful people. And according to the survey recently I have seen, and according to the survey all over the world, the manpower, the requirement would be taken by India at least 25%. At least 25%. Because when you have the right decision to take, and when you have the right sales skills to solve your problem, yes, these will help you This what analysis will help you always. The more you make your strengths strengthen, to lose your weaknesses. You hide your weaknesses. The more you hide your weaknesses, the more you can avoid threats. The more you avoid your threats, you grab the more opportunities because of your strengths. That is what you are meant for. All the successful people, they are not born, they are made. They are made by themselves. They are made by themselves. There is a person who owns about more than 2,500 crores of his property all over the world. He is blessed with a son. He is blessed with a son. One day he was observing his son's attitude, because he is born rich. And his father thought, if my son would be in the same way, he cannot be the successful person like me. He cannot be the successful person like me. Did Abdul Kalam's mother thought that he is going to become such a great person, that he will be the inspirer for the people? No, because his practice, his life taught many things to him. As we are a right attitude person, we can also learn from our attitude. We can also learn from our past. Let me get back to the example. He was thinking about his son. What would be my son's future if he would be like this? So one day he called his father. One day his father called his son, and they were together sitting in front of his father. His father suggested him, "My son, I want you to be an individual. I don't want to use my name and fame in the society, and you are not authorized to use my name, because I want you to see as an individual person in your life. I don't know where you're going to, because it's a vast world. In this world, go out, start earning by your own, and show me that without help of anyone, you individually came up." His son thought, why my father is punishing me like this? But his father's intention is not to punish him. His father's intention is to put him on a right track. So this son, he left everything. He left each and every aspect. And what the luxurious life he felt before, he started walking into the world. He slept with the beggars on a footpath, because when he came out, when he was holding him, because till date, up to that time, he's enjoying his luxurious life. But now it is not a time for him to enjoy his life. It's a time for him to put it out, to put his potential out. He start concentrating on his strengths. What are my strengths? My certificates, there would be your hard skills. Because you sit, you may by heart, you may understand, and you may write your exams and you can get your certificate. But the skills you cannot learn. Only the thing is, you inculcate by yourself and implement by yourself. Are we putting it on a right platform? That is important. So he thought about him in each and every way. He washed the cups. He washed. And he did not find a suitable job for him according to his qualification, because he is not so trained and skillful. So he learned by the world. He was taught by the society. It doesn't mean that I want you to be in the same position, because we are not in such a way, our parents are not pushing us out. And according to the survey, as per my knowledge, only in India it happens that if a person is not even doing his job, if he gets at the age of 40, even if the parents are alive, the parents will bear him, because his father might be a government employee where he will get lots of pensions, and where his son become. One way or the other way, our parents will never ask us to be a spoiled person. They always ask us to be a right person. To be a right person. So what we have learned? We have learned our communication skills. We have learned about decision making skills, and as I told you, KSA, which is a globe called your success, your knowledge, your skill, your attitude, everything is related to this. Every part, every time you make yourself, every time, and we have learned about your SWOT. Prioritize your strengths. When you prioritize your strengths, when you give the lot of value, when you consider that you are a strengthened person, yes, you would be the successful person. Still, what are there? Your interpersonal skills. What does it mean? What does it sound? Your internal, personal skills. Are we good at problem solving? Yes. Are we good at decision making? Yes. These all skills were by our birth. When you talk about your decision making skills, let me give you an example. When you take a kid who is at the age of 1.5 years to 2 years, and that would be his age to take a step on the earth, where his feet touches the ground, means he starts walking. Initially he takes the support of their parents, and later on what happens? A father left for his job and mother is busy in household work, but this person, he wants to walk. He fell down. He will fall because there is no support. But at that particular time only, he took a decision saying that, thinking about him that I am the capable person to walk. He did not give up. We always should possess an attitude saying that never give up. Why? Never give up attitude always enhances your positive attitude. Never give up attitude always possess your positive attitude, which would be the other way of leaning and walking towards success. Walking towards success, which is you need to inculcate in you. When you are a technical person, you always consider looking for you gaining your marks. What do you do after gaining your marks? Fine, you got 98%. You gained that because you studied well, you worked hard. Next step, what is the next step? If you are lacking in these skills, if you are lacking in your soft skills, which is other word, always we say our life skills. Our life skills. What is the reason? If you don't possess this kind of things, what we are going to do with that certificates? We can't hold or we can't tie a banner saying that I am a technical qualified person with an aggregate of 98%. Convert that knowledge. What you gained is your knowledge. Convert that into a skill. Convert that into a what is on the paper, what are your marks on the paper, put it in a practicality. If you put it in a practicality, your skills will be recognized. Your skills will be recognized because you are possessing the right attitude. You are possessing the right attitude. What are the companies are looking for? Just when you talk about an interview part, when you go for an interview, at that particular time, you need to possess a right decision attitude, right decision making attitude. Why we need to possess it? Because there would be some sort of questions and you need to be a logical thinker. You need to be a creative thinker, because managers would concentrate on your psychological part. He may ask you how fast your thinking ability is. How far your thinking ability is. There would be a question asked to you to make sure that are you a money-minded person or not. If you get a 5 crore of rupees, are you going to still work? At that particular time, it's only a question. He's not asking you a MSET point because to give an appropriate answer. He's asking you how far you can creatively think and deliver the answer. At the same time, when you are walking on a road, it's a time for you to come to the office. Unfortunately, you saw an accident and no one is worrying about that person and is a very old man. At that particular time, what would you do? No one is bothering about him. At that particular time, how you possess your attitude? Are you able to creatively thinking? Because these are the questions where they may ask to know about your knowledge. And at the same time, for your decision making, he may ask you, are you ready to relocate in any part of the world? Are you ready to relocate? And at that particular time, you need to think spontaneously and answer to the question. Are you ready to sign a bond for 5 years? Yes, I am ready to sign a bond. Immediately, quick decision, which is not a wrong